Good morning. This morning I'd like to show you how to milk a goat. I have Nigerian Dwarf goats and they were born, the first set was born about a month ago. They're triplets and I have their mother here all ready to milk. So after the goats are about 2 weeks old, what we usually start doing is putting them in this pen at night. This is a cage that we had for our Great Danes, and they are in, it's a cage within a cage with our other goats, mamas and babies. These other babies are just not quite old enough yet to take them away from their mom for the whole night. And these three triplets are about a month old, like I said, but I haven't been separating them at night until now because they're triplets and I wanted to make sure we weren't overtaxing mom by taking milk away, but they are doing so well that that it's fine now to lock them up at night. And then this little one is a bottle baby. This is little Bean, Coffee Bean, Jumping Bean, Beanie Baby that I'm bottle feeding. So when I'm done, her mom is not being nice to her. She's doing well enough now that she can take being outside, but her mother over here, Mocha, just is not only not letting her nurse, but is headbutting her and hurting her. And so she has to stay in here with other little brothers and sisters and cousins and get bottle fed. So I'll do that in a little bit after I milk her mom. But this is Latte. This is the mother of the triplets. So I'm gonna try to do this here without letting all the goats out and while I'm got my camera in one hand. But if I let Latte out, she knows the routine here. Come on, Latte. She knows to go to her milking stanchion, and of course now she's not going to do it. Okay, I'm going to try to do this here with the phone and the goat. So I'm leading her, but she typically knows what to do here. I'm taking her over to the milking stanchion that my husband built me, and here I'll show you. She knows that there is grain in here for her, and she jumps right in. And then I take this bungee cord and I just put this around her head here so that she can't get out until I let her out. And it's hard to do this with one hand while I'm trying to film with the other, but we'll get it done. Good girl, Latte. Good girl. Okay. All right, so I've got her in here. She has some non-GMO oats and some non-GMO corn. I don't like when chemicals are put on our food or our animals' food, which we're gonna drink this milk, and so whatever goes into the goat eventually goes into us. And any grains or corn or wheat or alfalfa or anything that has been sprayed with, that is GMO, has been sprayed with Roundup or glyphosate, and I don't like that. So I try to stick with non-GMO for myself as well as for my animals. And here I've got my little milking bucket and I've got some paper towels, and you can see here that she is got a full bag and is ready to be milked. So the next thing I do, and again, this is not going to be easy with one hand, but I take some paper towel and I'm coming over here to my water, and I've got a little bit of dish soap, and I just put a little dish soap on my paper towel. And then I'm going to get it wet here, just a little bit wet. Come on, water. Okay. So I've got my wet paper towel with some soap, and I'm just coming in here and really washing her teats good. I'm gonna rub those really good, and I'm gonna rub under here. case there's any loose hairs. I don't want them falling in my bucket. So I do that. And then I'm going to take some dry paper towel and wipe her dry so that she's not slippery. Okay. Good. All right, so she's clean. My hands are clean. Next thing I'm going to do is take a little bit of milk from each of the teats, about three or four squirts each, and I'm going to put them in this little bowl. Whoops. And I don't like to waste anything. Some people just throw that away, but I'm going to leave it there for the barn cats, or sometimes the chickens even come in and want to get it. Okay, and so now I'm going to try to show you how I milk her with one hand on the camera and one hand. So here's her teats, and I'm just going to close it off at the top so the milk, when I squeeze, can't go back up. And I'm going to squeeze it down. And there it goes into the bucket. So I'm going to keep doing this for a while with each teat, and I'll show you when I'm done. Okay, Latte has been milked, and I want to show you what happens here when I let her little ones out of the cage. They're going to go right for her udder. They just attack like they haven't had milk in a long time. And I did not completely milk her out on purpose because I want to make sure that there's plenty there for the triplets. Now I have my little Bean here who is very hungry, so I'm going to go take the milk up to the house right away so I can get it in the refrigerator, and then I'm going to bring her bottle down and give her her bottle. So I've just come inside with my milk. Like I said, I didn't milk Latte very much because I wanted to have enough for the triplets, but I do want to have some milk. So what I do then when I bring it in, and I bring it in right away because we want it to get refrigerated. We don't want the milk to warm up. I take a funnel and I put it in my jar, my canning jar that I put my milk in the refrigerator with. I've got a little bit left here from yesterday. And then I take a coffee filter and I put that inside, just a disposable coffee filter inside my funnel. And then I take my milk and I slowly pour it in. Have to give it a minute here to let it come through. Now I drink the goat milk raw. I think that most of our grandparents did, and they did great. In Iowa, it is illegal to sell raw milk either for animal or human consumption. So I don't sell it, but I use it. I drink the milk. I make yogurt. I make soap, I make cheese, I make lotion, and do all these things, and I really, really, really enjoy it. But I drink it raw. The more research I've done, the more I've learned that when milk is pasteurized, it does kill potentially harmful bacteria, but it also kills healthy bacteria that is very good for us. And I recently learned as well that many people who are lactose intolerant, it is because when the milk goes through the pasteurization process, it does something to it chemically where it makes it so that people cannot tolerate, some people anyway, cannot tolerate the lactose. So people who are lactose intolerant may be able to handle raw milk instead of pasteurized milk. Some people that are lactose intolerant to cow's milk can also handle goat's milk because the lactose molecules are much smaller, therefore it doesn't bother them as much as with the cow's milk. Now I have Nigerian Dwarf goats for a couple reasons. One is because they're just so cute. But another reason, obviously I'm not getting as much milk as I would from a full-size dairy goat. They can give a gallon a day easily. I have 3 does, and when I milk all 3 of them, I end up with a total of about 2 quarts of milk. So I'm not getting nearly as much milk as I would with a full-size dairy goat. But the butter fat content in a full-size dairy goat is about 3 to 4%, whereas in a Nigerian dwarf goat, the butter fat content is closer to 6 to 10%. So there's a much higher amount of butter fat, which makes it taste a little less goatier, if that makes any sense. And I like that. In fact, when I drink the milk right away, when it's still at goat body temperature, it is so sweet. It almost tastes like there is some it almost tastes like there's some powdered sugar sprinkled over the top of it. It's just amazing, the flavor that comes out of it. So I'm filling up my jar here, but I think we can fit the rest of it in here. And as you can see, there's a couple hairs in there. That's why we're doing this, to strain it. So now I will have some milk. Usually when I get a full jar like this, I turn it into yogurt, but I use it for all kinds of things. Like I said earlier, soap, lotion, yogurt, cheese, and just drinking milk. And I really enjoy it. So I hope this video has taught you some things about milking goats. Thanks for joining me, and please subscribe to my videos. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. And here I am feeding little Bean her morning bottle. She waited patiently while I did all the rest of the chores.